The left's attack on beauty is more than just a punk rebellion to normality. It is a cult of ugliness. The concept of beauty is transcendent. It exists beyond even our own human awareness. It takes many forms, from animal mating rituals, which use color and sound to attract mates, to flowers evolving into increasingly elaborate shapes and colors to attract pollinating insects. Beauty exists in the perfect hidden geometric proportions that underlie the structures of all living organisms. The golden ratio that is the blueprint of radiating flower petals is the same found in the proportions of a beautiful human face. And the appreciation of this beauty is the subconscious understanding of witnessing near perfection. It is a spiritual connection to godliness. It is when we consider this truth that the left's assault on beauty in arts and culture is exposed as a concerted rejection of the God of creation. Understanding this puts into perspective the left's unwitting religious devotion to their God of ugliness and destruction. An appreciation of good art and culture is deteriorating because of this very real attack on beauty. Roger Scruton's documentary, Why Beauty Matters, and his analysis of the cult of ugliness breaks down the left's assault on beauty and its cultural ramifications. It describes a modern society that ascribes beauty to things that are not inherently or objectively beautiful. It explains that the meaning of beauty is being diluted and adulterated to the point where beauty has no meaning. There are standards of beauty that have a firm base in nature and science. We cannot forget this. Physical beauty of the human body was once parallel to physical health and fitness. The cult of ugliness changed that. Classical sculptures, like the great works of Michelangelo and others, show this, and the perfect forms of Greek gods and other sculptures once set the cultural standard for people to live up to. When witnessing an overweight person, our subconscious mind rightly recoils in a rejection of what it intuitively knows to be divergent from the path towards the natural, the healthy, and the beautiful. As the left continued to crowbar body positivity and overweight models into art and media, so do they degrade the standards of what it means to be healthy and whole. I've seen this firsthand in the art world of New York City. Having spent 10 years as a performance artist there, I've witnessed the steady and gradual infiltration of the performing arts and modeling. Where health and beauty were once synonymous, now a toxic combination of the ugly, the vile, the purposefully provocative, and the intentionally grotesque has become the norm. Ballet has been replaced with sex acts on stage, far-left politics has been dragged onto theater, performers urinate on American flags and defile Christianity. Class has been completely stripped away from every performing venue, leaving conservative artists like me without an artistic home. My work exploring the adoration of faith and classical beauty stood in stark contrast to the degeneracy that once lived underground, but now very much lives and breathes above the surface and can be seen advertised freely throughout the city. This was and is a world gone mad where the beautiful and the graceful is considered bizarre and niche. With the art and media institutions, the universities, and the studios, which they have infiltrated through the long march, they push degenerate art and an overt political agenda. This art, void of the millennia-old pursuits of perfection with stories that normalize the obscure and praise mentally unstable lifestyles, to degrade, belittle, and mock functioning traditional norms. Music, which lacks merit and skill, supplants the traditional lyrical and musical works of geniuses. It replaces poetry and lyrical appeals to higher aspirations with vulgarity. The left have become the all-encompassing Pied Piper, shepherding generations away from virtue to vice, into an oblivion of depression and consumerism. Disfigured and fat models, menstrual blood art, vomit paintings, hideous and unwieldy modern architecture growing out of classical monuments like cancerous growths, This is an observable agenda to obliterate humanity's history of aspirations striving to create beauty and perfection in the image of our Creator. If everything is beautiful, then nothing is beautiful. When we are forced to accept everything we see as beauty, then it becomes hollow. Art now intends to be as shocking and bizarre as it can be. It represents our failure to protect fundamental truths and what is most sacred to us deep in our souls. The greater culture is a battle of creation versus destruction, good versus evil. We must fight back on this front. We must scream out with our creations of beauty. With our art, our music, with our sculpture and architecture, we must flood the left with the light of our creations and blind them in undeniable beauty. We are in a fight for the very soul of humanity, and we must win. We will win.